Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode number 58 in the book of Deuteronomy. Today's title is Have a Wife, period, Happy Life, at least for a year. So we're in this section in Deuteronomy chapter 24 where God is demonstrating his kindness to an undeserving people group, Israel. So he's building this rapscallion people group into his own people. Why? Well, eventually he wants to demonstrate his kindness to another undeserving fallen person, which is you. So in an unfallen world, now to our topic for today, which is marriage, in an unfallen world, there would be marriage, but there would be no divorce. So yesterday we kind of talked about the bad side. We talked about our fallenness and in our relational world and headed towards divorce. But today we're going to do the flip side, the good side. So let's talk about one of the greatest blessings that has ever been given to mankind, and that is the gift of marriage. So let's back the bus up and let's talk about the blessings of marriage, because we're going to talk about one of the sweetest verses in the entire Bible that addresses marriage. It's from Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 5. Our official verse today is just one verse. When a man is newly married, he shall not go out with the army or be liable for any other public duty. He shall be free at home for 1 year to be happy with his wife, whom he has taken. So here's the reality. This verse assumes that we live in a world of armies and conflicts. So we live in a world of wars, but you get a wife. We live in a world of hostilities, and I provided for you a husband. Now, the world of liabilities and duties and war is not denied, but we also have this world of marriage. Now, statistically, in marriage, people enjoy better health, longer life, blessings of children, more financial stability. And in general, the stability of cultures is forecasted by the stability of marriage. And our subject today highlights a new benefit of marriage, and that is happiness. So think about this. An ongoing relationship in this covenant of marriage results in a merrier life. That is, a spouse can gladden the miles that are traveled. So the Hebrew word is a very strong one. It means to be glad, to rejoice. It makes me think of Genesis chapter 2. The context of that is Adam is naming all the animals, the deer and the red panda and all these animals, and none of them are a helpmate for him. And we pick it up in Genesis chapter 2, verse 20. But for Adam, there was not found a helper for him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man. And while he slept, he took one of his ribs, closed up its place with flesh. And the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man, he made into a woman and brought her to the man. And the man said, "This at last is the bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she's taken out of a man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked and ashamed." So Adam gets this concept immediately. He has this demonstrative exclamation of wonder and of intimacy. I've heard it translated, "Eureka, this is it, she's the one." And he recognizes himself in the other, half of human creation. So he recognizes this otherness, a new creation, new birth, and understands that the new relationship, that it should be treasured and worked for, holding fast. Holding fast isn't for sissies. And he sees the things that have to change in priorities. With old mom and dad, the marriage with beds is not big enough for 6 people. And he sees the purpose and the pleasure in one flesh, nakedness and unashamedness. Let me read it again. Our main verse. When a man is newly married, he shall not go out with the army or be liable for any other public duty. He shall be free at home 1 year to be happy with his wife, whom he has taken. So home is where your spouse is, wherever that may be. And regarding the timing, at least in this particular aspect, you get 365 days, so make the most of it. So the world of responsibilities and wars, it's going to be waiting for you at the end. When you get back from your honeymoon newlywed time, it's going to be there. But here, the newlyweds get special privileges. So while you are in this phase, your distant and dangerous responsibilities are kind of put on hold. And eventually we're going to need soldiers that are married. So this dispensation doesn't last forever, but it does last for 4 seasons. So a couple conclusions here today. If you are not married, then sow the seeds that make you marriage ready. I always say that 75% of the time, the problem isn't in finding the right one. The problem is in being the right one. So just a couple things come to mind. Grow in purity, grow as a provider, grow in preparation, grow in prayer for the future spouse. Why is that? Because they're probably struggling just as much as you are with aloneness and all the challenges of singleness. And then grow in pursuit. Pursuit of what? Pursuit of God himself. Not of the spouse, but of God. And then if you're married, listen to what God is doing in the background in Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him." So aloneness is seen by God, and God is at work. Before they met, God was making. And before they were met, God was making a helper fit exactly for him. So if you are married, then likely you are looking at your helper fit exactly for you across the breakfast table. So what are you going to do about it? Marriage is to make you merry in general. And if you're in a grouchy phase, let it be temporary and be overwhelmed by gratefulness, because you're free at home 1 year to be happy with your wife, with the wife you have taken or the husband that you have taken. Thanks for listening.